بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألم تر كيف فعل ربك بأصحاب الفيل ألم يجعل كيدهم في تضليل وأرسل عليهم طيرا أبابيل ترميهم بحجارة من سجيل فجعلهم كعصف مأكول. Have you not considered, O Muhammad, how the Lord dealt with the companions of the elephant? Did he not make their plan into misguidance? And he sent against them birds and flocks, striking them with stones of hard clay, and he made them like eaten straw.
Like eaten straw, says?
Yes.
In this surah, Surah Al-Fil, there is a change in themes, if you will, from here until the remainder of the Quran. From Surah Al-Fil to Surah Al-Nas is not like what has preceded in Juz Amma. Alright? So as you see, like from the surahs that we started with, which is what the Imam Aziz ibn Baz rahimahullah ta'ala recommended, from Surah Al-Zalzala, Wal-Adiyat, Wal-Qari'ah, Wal-Takathur, Wal-Asr, Wal-Humazah, all of them have been dealing with the hereafter in some way or another. In Surah Al-Fil, and then Quraysh, and then Al-Ma'un, Al-Kawthar. These are not necessarily, even though there are isharat or some type of indicators and things that deal with the here, this is not the major theme of any of the surahs that are coming now until the end of the Quran. All of them, in fact, are some way related to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, somehow, some way. Surah Al-Fil, for example, the year, what is known as Am Al-Fil, when this happened, was the same year that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was born. But this surah, in fact, the main theme of this surah actually does relate to the surah that came before it, which is Humazah, because Humazah is talking about pride, and what the result of that will be in the hereafter. But this surah is a warning for everyone who has possessions and thinks that these possessions make them something, that Allah Azza wa Jal may punish you in this life before the hereafter. See, the threat of the hereafter is something that is a constant theme in the Quran. And there are those who believe in the hereafter and others who do not believe in the hereafter. But here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is specifically showing that there are some who will meet their punishment in this life as well as the hereafter. This surah was revealed about what? About that Yemeni king, or the king that was in Yemen at that particular time, or he was the deputy or governor of Yemen, following the king of Al-Habasha, Abyssinia. His name was Abrahah. And he wanted to take advantage, as you know, Mecca was a place where the Arabs made pilgrimage to even before Islam. They made pilgrimage to Mecca. And that Hajj that they made to Mecca, that pilgrimage that they made, was a source of economic stability for the people of Mecca. And it was a place where the Arabs gathered to trade their goods and these type of things like that. And Abraham wanted to take advantage of that and now make a new center for people to come to in Yemen and get rid of the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Mecca. And what did he have that the Arabs didn't know about at that particular time? He had elephants. And so he was going to take his elephants and he was going to go to the Kaaba and he was going going to trample over the people, anyone in his way, and destroy the Kaaba. And he had already built the mega church in Yemen under the auspices of the king of Abyssinia at that particular time. So he got permission from the king to take the elephants to Mecca, and they were going to go and they were going to destroy anything that was in their path. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Alam tara kayfa fa'ala rabbuka bi ashabil fil. And Muhammad, do you not know? And he's talking to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Do you not know? And this word tara in Arabic sometimes is used for what you see with your eyes, but sometimes it deals with what you know as well. So do you not know what your Rabb, and this word Rabb we said means what? A review of Fatiha. Creator and sustainer and provider and manager of all the affairs and the master. Do you not see what your Rabb did to the companions of the elephant? Look how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala dealt with them. Read the next ayah with me.
Did he not make their plan into misguidance?
Did he not make their plan into misguidance? That is how many of the translations come about. But basically what that means is that they plotted and they planned. And to plot and plan, even to travel from Yemen to Mecca, how long is that going to take? So the plotting and the planning that went into a very long time. And over a month, maybe even longer than that they went and they had this plot and the plan, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala caused all of that to be in vain. It didn't avail them anything. Now,
And he sent against them virgin flocks.
Here, subhanallah. Look at this. Yani Allah Azza wa Jal, this dominion is his. He could have chosen anything to destroy Abraha and his army of elephants. He could have made the elephants stop in their tracks and turn around. But Allah Azza wa Jal chose out of his wisdom. And it is a hikmatun baligha as well. Look at the wisdom, great wisdom of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that he used birds. Birds, these very weak creatures, in general. It is made of feathers, you can pluck them apart. And it's nothing, a bird. And not that they were sending down, heavy rocks or missiles or bullets. No. And they did have iron at that time, so they had steel. They had these things available. Clay. And he hardened clay. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent the birds ababil, in flocks, different flocks, one after the other. So they didn't stop. Look at the power that comes with numbers here. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent them flock after flock. And they were stoning them, dropping this clay on them. This clay. Look at how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala destroyed this huge army of elephants with weak birds and clay. To show you that Allah is ala kulli shay'in qadir. That Allah is capable of everything. And how did he lead them? Ka'asfin ma'kul. Al-asf, the scholars of Tafsir have differed over what this means. And the closest meaning, Wallahu a'lam, is that it is the leftover crops. Like, for example, when an animal eats some type of crop, it doesn't usually, everything doesn't, even when little children, they eat and then crumbs fall out, right? So it's when an animal is eating the crops, the food that is falling out is known as al-asf. All right? That leftover food. Then it dries up. So just imagine now if they were eating leaves, fresh leaves, for example, and then there's leftovers from that. So it was eaten, it's left over, and then it dries up and something walks over it, crushed. Their intent was to trample and to crush Quraysh and to crush the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and so they were met with the like of their intention. And they were left ka'asfin ma'kul, like this crushed, eaten, leftover, dried up crops. And so we see how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala handled those who were haughty, they were arrogant, and they thought that their possessions would allow them to be raised. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shows us here that their wealth was futile and it didn't avail them anything. Now,